Hi everyone, Gary here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that's got the entire gaming community in an uproar, the Nintendo Switch 2. Now Nintendo finally pulled back the curtain on a brand new console, and while the hardware looks promising, the price tag for both the games and the system are raising some serious eyebrows. We're talking $450 for the console itself, $8 for a digital game, and $90 for a physical copy of a game. That's right, $90 for a cartridge. Is Nintendo out of their minds, or is this just the reality of gaming now? Now stick around as we break this down because trust me, there's a lot to go through here. If you're as skeptical as I am, make sure to hit that like button and let's get into it. So let's start with the console itself. The Nintendo Switch 2 is launching at $450 in the US, or £395 sterling in the UK, or 469 euros in Europe. That's a hefty jump from the original Switch, which cost $300 at launch back in 2017. Now sure, inflation is a thing, and the Switch 2 is packing some upgrades. We have a better screen, beefier internals, and Nvidia's DLSS Magic. But $450, that's $50 more than the PS5 digital edition, a console that has been out on the market for years now. Nintendo has always positioned itself as an affordable, family-friendly option, but this price feels like a gut punch to that identity. And here's the kicker: just as pre-orders are about to kick off in the US, Nintendo's actually delayed the pre-ordering date, citing the whole situation going on with the tariffs right now. They're acting like this $450 was already set in stone before the tariff talk, but come on, are we really supposed to believe that they didn't bake in some of the costs for the tariffs already? Analysts were predicting $400 tops, and now we're left wondering if the Switch 2 might creep up even higher once these new tariffs go into effect. For a handheld that's still lagging behind the PS5 and Xbox Series X and raw power, Nintendo is asking us to pay a premium, and I'm not convinced it's worth it yet. But the real controversy are the game prices, and oh man, are people really pissed off about these prices. Nintendo dropped a bombshell reveal with marquee titles like Mario Kart World will be costing $80 digital, and if you want the physical copy, it's going to cost you $90. Let that sink in. We went from paying $60 for a Nintendo game to now going to $80 or even $90. For comparison, PlayStation and Xbox raised their prices to $70 a few years ago. This trend has been part of console gaming ever since the PS2, GameCube, and OG Xbox days where games cost $50. And then during the Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii generation, they went up to $60 for a game. However, for some reason during the Xbox One, PS4, and Wii U era, games stayed at $60. This could have been due to the market still recovering from the 2008 Great Recession, but it's, kind of hard to say. The price of games for current gen consoles finally reached $70, and these consoles came out back in 2020. However, while these new consoles launched with higher priced games, Nintendo is still deeply invested in the life cycle of the Switch, which launched in 2017, and at that time, games were still priced at $60. This means that PlayStation and Xbox had a 5-year head start pricing their games at $70, leaving Nintendo at a disadvantage as it tries to catch up now. When the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S launched, inflation was more stable at around 2% or lower. However, from late 2021 to 2022, inflation just exploded. As the overall cost of living increased, the expense associated with developing a $70 game also rose dramatically. This means that a game that should ideally cost consumers between $80 to $90 is still being sold for $70. While PlayStation and Xbox are aware of the backlash they would face if they raised their prices, Nintendo decides to just rip the band-aid off and go for it. Will PlayStation and Xbox follow suit? We'll see. Will a big price like the Game Pass be coming soon? We'll see. But if Nintendo does indeed follow through, you better believe that PlayStation, Xbox, and all the big third-party devs are going to follow suit as well. Now, if you saw the Treehouse Live the past 2 days, the entire comments during the entire live stream where it dropped the price in all caps. And some, like myself, are trolling and saying raise the price. And this didn't go on for like the first 20 minutes. It went on for the entire 4-hour stream. Now, I don't know if this is normal or not, but Nintendo has since taken down the live stream and unlisted them. And well, at least one of them they did. This is absolutely affecting Nintendo and its product. Nobody wants to see their product and their company in this light. But will it be enough for Nintendo to scale back the price of their games? I think not. People will bitch and complain, but in the end, they'll end up buying the games, I think. Nintendo does put out some pretty awesome games, but it does suck seeing gaming become more of a luxury hobby now. But what I'm going to hate seeing is companies like PlayStation, Xbox, EA, Ubisoft, etc., who've just been putting out some terrible games lately, start charging $80 or $90 for them. Could you imagine if Dragon Age Vanguard or Assassin's Creed Shadow was $80 or $90 each? It feels like AAA gaming is just taking a huge step backwards the past few years in terms of gameplay, innovation, story, and now they want to charge $80 or $90 for them? It would completely collapse the gaming market. Digital games should be cheaper right now already. You're cutting out the middleman like Best Buy, GameStop, Target, etc. You don't have to pay for the manufacturing of a disc or the cartridge, so there's no extra cost involved. You're just downloading a game from a server somewhere, or a cloud. So digital games should be cheaper already. There's no reason for them to be priced at $70 or even $80. Therefore, I don't see the need why Nintendo would have to charge $80 for a digital game. It just seems like they're coming off greedy. So where does that leave us? The Switch 2 looks amazing. We got a bigger screen, 3D audio, new Joy-Con. But at $450 with $80 to $9 games, Nintendo's really banking on brand loyalty to get them through this. What about you? Are you hyped for these Switch 2, or is the pricing just a deal breaker? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more gaming content, and click the bell notification so you don't miss one of our next videos. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye.